Okay, let's go.
Welcome in, everybody. Thank you for joining us here at Apex News Above the Noise. I am live here at the Yak Shack at Creekside Studios. My name is Kyle Thompson, and I am joined always with my good friend Craig. Craig, we were just on the air just a few minutes ago.
Yeah.
News and information going on, and now we're going to switch to Kentucky sports. As soon as we got off, we got some information. You got some insider information, and we wanted to go ahead and bring that to everybody, start talking to everybody a little bit about what's happening. A lot of rumors already and conjecture and things like
All
that.
weekend long, yeah.
So I think it's time that we kind of figure out what the truth is to some of these and some of the stuff we can lay to rest. But there has been an ongoing discussion across Kentucky sports and especially Kentucky basketball about where is Kam Williams? The question has been, they've had their workouts. They've had a lot of people who have been in there from the media checking things out. In fact, one of the headlines over the weekend, just yesterday, from Kentucky Hoops Online was missing, like a wanted person or a missing poster.
Yeah.
Where is Kam Williams? Tell us a little bit about what you have found out this evening, Craig, when you were checking into that.
Well, I had texted Cam's dad, Greg Williams, yesterday because I saw these questions online in various UK groups wondering where Cam's at. Well, he's there. He's on campus. He's at Wildcat Lodge with all the players. He's just healing up. You know, he came back after missing 12 games last season with his broken foot.
Yep.
And played limited minutes all year long, and all year long, the rest of the season. And now he's healing up. So he'll be 100% by the beginning of the season. And his dad, we had a long conversation, about 38 minutes, and talking all things Cam and plus some other things. So no need to worry about Cam at all. Our 6'8" player that shoots 95% from three and 95% free throw line, 36 or 37% from three, upper 40s from two. He'll be here. He'll be ready, and he'll be 100%.
Well, I think a lot of people, we just got that, that good feeling that, we got Milan Momcilovic coming into the program. And I think there's always people who are like, is there enough basketballs to roll out there? What are we going to do? Things of that nature. That's not the case at all from what Greg has told you and what
Right.
others have stated as well. So, I think it's important that right now we understand that, Kam Williams came back after just 12 games of a broken foot. And some of the folks that you talked to and some of the research that we did when that happened was, you could be looking at a year from actually when the injury occurred. But these are world-class athletes. They have world-class, healthcare and things.
World-class medical, yeah.
And it was, have surgery and be done for, a year or work it out and see what you can do. And so it appears that Cam is just letting everything finally heal and take some time off.
Yep.
He's not in a boot or anything at this point. It's just we're making sure that everything is healing properly.
Yeah, he played. Looking at last year's stats, his most minutes per game were against Mississippi State when he scored 14 points, and then towards the end of the year and all season after he came back, he was around 20 or 22 minutes a game. He had a high against Bellarmine of 26 points, 14 against Mississippi State, and 13 against Loyola, and that was before the broken foot. And so he's contributed well. It's just we want him 100%. You've seen plenty of NFL and NBA players that get injured and then come back too early.
Yeah, absolutely.
You can re-injure it. You can play hobbled, like they'll play with a broken hand or something, or you'll see a player that's played with a torn hamstring the second half of the season, and they don't do the team any good, really. They need to heal up to 100%, and that's what Cam's going to be doing over the summer. Is healing up to be 100% ready to go for the first game of the season. There's no worries, none at all,
Yeah.
obviously, because he played the second half of the year.
Yeah.
But just let it get 100% healed because we're going to have a special team this year.
That
There's going to be no doubt about it.
I agree, and I think a lot of people are online. By the way, just want to say, what's up, Peanut Butter Posse? Thanks for joining us. We've seen you around. Thanks for joining us tonight. And Dougie, we'll get into that here in a minute, and then
Yeah.
that we're hearing as well. But I think it's important that even I know it hurts to talk about it, but a lot of people think that maybe JQ came back a little too early. That there were a lot of people that said that maybe he should have. It's a situation where maybe he pushed himself, maybe others pushed him a little too hard, and maybe that's what kept him out. A lot of people now are seeing his workouts and they're going, "This dude's, this dude's awesome. What happened?" And so now we're trying to figure out exactly what we can do to preserve Cam. Cam is okay, everybody, and Cam is not necessarily missing at this point. He's there.
Well, yeah, let's get into that a little bit. All the players are at Wildcat Lodge, and if you've been a UK fan for any length of time, Wildcat Lodge came into existence in 1978. Reason I know that was the 1 year I went to UK, and my uncle contributed to its creation. So they're all there. They're all getting La Familia kind of thing going. They're all playing. They're practicing together and getting to know each other, building that team chemistry that we're going to need this year, just like the Knicks. The Knicks won off of a team, not of a superstar getting 30 shots a game. That's how Kyle and I see UK this year. We're going to be a team. So Coach Pope's got them in there at Wildcat Lodge, and they're building that team harmony so that we can, instead of waiting till the middle of January to get that team cohesiveness, we'll have that on game one. And Peanut has said Cam will be back by Gonzaga. We don't play Gonzaga this year, but his dad said that we will. He'll be back ready for game one.
No, he's talking about our next story when he heard.
Oh, okay. All right, I got you.
Yeah, we'll talk about what we've heard as well when it comes to Kusturica.
There's a lot of talk
right there.
Yeah, there's a lot of talk now of Cam going to the 2 guard.
Listen, it's great. It's great to have a bunch of guys that could play multiple positions, but it's also great to have guys who are natural at their positions. And I think we're all going to be very excited to see what we can do. And we have 2 guys at every position and maybe 3 at some. So just so everybody knows, Kam Williams is okay. We've talked to his dad. We've talked to others in the program. He's going to be fine.
No worries.
Cam was not practicing up until this week. It sounds like he's going to start, putting up some shots, but then he's really holding out on, full workouts until we get a little bit closer to the season. Listen, I think there's nothing wrong with that.
How's he going to be ready if he can't practice? This is just voluntary summer workouts.
Yep.
And he is ready because he played the second half of the season. He's ready.
Yeah.
But there's a difference between being 90% ready and 100% ready. You see it. If you watch the NBA, you see players come back too early, then they get hurt again. And so just rest up and be healthy for the whole season next year. That's the game plan.
Yeah. So a lot of folks are already asking, George and others here, what's the chances of getting this 17-year-old Euro kid? Well, a lot of rumors and things started popping up over the last week or so when Dark Pope, as some people were calling him, when he came back from his Bahamas vacation. But while he was there, he posted this very cryptic photo. A lot of people are talking about it. A lot of people on 3 and the guys at KSR and others, our friend Big Mike over in Saudi Arabia.
Us also.
Yeah, we talked a little bit about it. We assumed that he's drinking some apple juice there, knowing Coach Pope. But you can see he's holding a jack and a king. There are tons of rumors that was alluding to a couple of different individuals. The J, obviously, we are hoping potentially Jamal Crawford. the former NBA Sixth Man of the Year and NBA All Star, legendary guard.
Right.
We are hoping that he is going to join the coaching staff. Listen, the NBA season ended about a day and a half ago, so
Right. Yeah, about 2 weeks, but yeah, or last
week
week.
for
Yeah.
him. So I think that I think there is a lot of folks that are wondering what's actually going to happen with this. But that's the first thing. They thought that the J may be Jamal Crawford, and then of course the other big one there is the K, and this one is big. Uh, this is Nikola Kusturica. Kusturica.
Yeah.
Sorry guys, I'll keep working on that. Kusturica. He's 17 years old. These are his highlights playing in the background here. He is 6'8". He is a wing player from Serbia. Craig, you got some stats on this kid. Tell us a
Yeah.
little bit about
Yeah.
what.
Serbia, via FC Barcelona in Spain's Liga League in Euro League. He, as a 17-year-old, he scored 17 points. Let's see, where's it at? In the under 16 team where they won the 2025 FIBA under 16 Euro basket, he was MVP out of all the teams in Europe. Scored 20 points a game, 7.7 rebounds, and 3.4 assists per game as a 16-year-old playing against the best competition in Europe. And people might say, well, Europe's competition is not that good. Look at the top 6 players in the NBA. 4 of them are from Europe. So Europe has caught up to America, obviously, in basketball talent. And him being 17 now, and he's being recruited by all the blue bloods, Duke, Kentucky, North Carolina, Gonzaga, UCLA. So he's legit. But we're the first team mentioned from what I've found, and I think what Kyle's found. We're the first team mentioned with this young man. And what a great addition for our 15th player this guy would be. And
listen, you don't have to rush this kid out there either because you've got some talent. But the first name that was mentioned, and they thought that they really thought that he was going to have a lot of heat from Gonzaga. Gonzaga was the number 1 team that was listed. But over the weekend, Gonzaga signed a French 6'6" combo guard from France, Juwan Akanga, which essentially pulled them out completely. Listen, obviously Louisville, they're going to be mentioned. North Carolina is going to be mentioned. Duke. I imagine St. John's is salivating as well. But here's the crazy thing about this kid, Craig, and something that we need to talk about. He just turned 17 on like April the 20th or something.
He's barely 17.
So he will not be eligible until the 2028 NBA draft. So you are looking at a guy right now that has 2 full seasons before he is eligible to actually play in the NBA or be drafted in the NBA.
Right.
You have a guy right now that could have a 2-year term on his NIL as opposed to a guy coming out of high school that is already 18, 19 years old.
And he's already projected to be the top pick in the 28 or 29 season if he decides to come out, depending on what the money is he gets to stay. But they've already projected that far out.
Yeah, I mean,
and he'll be a top 3 pick for sure.
Yeah, they have to, based upon everything else that happens, these days and the type of recruiting that you have. But this would be just icing on the cake, I think. I mean, you already have Milan Momcilovic. This kid is a 6'8". Some people list him at 6'9". He's growing. He's 17 years old.
Yeah, he's 7. He'd probably be 6'9" or 6'10".
Yeah, and he goes to the basket. He dunks the ball, but he's not afraid to shoot it. He's shot somewhere like 80% inside, from twos or something like that. This is a real stud that if he were to stay in the Euro League, he's going to get a lot of minutes and he may get some experience, but nothing's better than, American college basketball for a lot of these kids. If you want to,
and he'll get paid a whole lot more here versus there.
Yeah.
$1 million over there is a top contract. And
So the question is, what are the odds that we get him? Well, I have heard late this afternoon that there are already discussions that are happening with regard to contractual um, scenarios that could go down. The university, obviously, lots been going on, not only with the team coming back with practices, but also with, naming a new AD today, Jay Batt. And I
Hey,
believe that UK is full court press on this kid right now. And, with the things that have happened over the last couple of weeks and what this team looks like, already for the 27 season, it seems like a good place for a kid that, may want to come in, make
yeah.
$1 million, doesn't
And we
have to
got
be,
Ryan Hampton coming next year
yeah,
already.
doesn't have to be pushed out into the starting lineup. You guys watching this kid? He's dunking all over the place. He's not afraid to go to the rim. And so this is a real scenario that could be great for everyone involved. There's still some teams that could pay him a lot of money, but they're going to push him out, as a starter right away. He doesn't need that because he's not going to play in the NBA for another year. So he doesn't need to be a starter right away. He can learn the American game and things of that nature. And I think that's a real possibility, that it's going to actually come down relatively quickly. And I think all the people who were deciphering those playing cards might have really been onto something.
Yeah, and looking at these highlights, he's pretty thin, so we need to get him to McDonald's pretty regular, put some weight on him. But if we could land him as our 15th player, and he will get, I think the team with our schedule that they released today, everybody's going to get a lot of minutes early to be able to prove how much minutes they earn through the SEC season. And remember, Ryan Hampton said that coach didn't promise him anything. He's going to have to earn what he gets at
Oh, he's
UK.
still got a paycheck, though. He's going to get a
Yeah,
paycheck.
he's going to get a paycheck, but sometimes like Jalen Brunson, he turned down $100 million on his contract to get better players on the Knicks, and of course that led somewhere today or yesterday.
Yeah, it sure did.
Before yesterday.
We have a couple questions in here. We'll try to get to all these. Do you think recruiting over players can cause them to make plans to transfer? Absolutely. I think it's a scenario that is touchy.
You got to be a magician.
Got to be a magician. You got to make a lot of people happy. For anybody, Craig, you've owned a business. If you hire somebody, you always have to do that. Listen, I'm hiring this guy not to replace you, but to be a teammate with you. Y'all are going to do great.
Right.
We have to do that as well. People get nervous when you start doing that.
Do it yours too, I'm sure.
Absolutely. But at the same time, you have to do what's best for the program. You have 15 spots. And if guys can't, you hope that people see that and they go, all right, I'm going to be pushed. I'll do what I have to get the minutes that I have to do. But also I want to win a championship and I want to do these things. And those are the best teams. Those are the best ones, and a lot of people in our comments in our chat have said before, maybe we're an 8 or a 9 player rotation towards the end of the year. Maybe we are. You hope that Coach Pope can figure out what best rotations there are, and we can go from there.
I think we might be 11.
We absolutely.
I think this team is going to be this loaded, and you don't want to have 5 players that are playing 38 minutes a game because they'll be wore out by the SEC tournament. But I have heard, I'm sure Kyle has too, about Trent Noah moving to the 2 because he's a world-class shooter. And his only drawback, he gets his shot. He's too slow releasing the ball once he gets it.
The only way that it will work for him at the 2 is if he gets that release time down by 0.2 or point.
Yeah, because Momcilovic, I shared video with Kyle. Momcilovic, the ball, by the time it hits his hand to the time it goes away, 0.17 seconds. So if somebody sets a screen for him and he gets a ball, it's going up as soon as he clears the screen. So that's the only thing holding Noah back. We know he can score. He shoots good, but he's got to do like Reed Shepherd does with Houston. He's got to learn to get that shot off quicker, much quicker.
This is a question that we've gotten a lot of, and we've talked to a lot of people with the program. Is Braden Hawthorne primed to be a lotto pick? Maybe. I think Braden Hawthorne is going to be a sleeper, like unicorn type player. I'm telling you guys right now, you do not know how good of a shooter Braden Hawthorne is, but he is also a slasher and doesn't mind going to the basket. So, yes, Braden Hawthorne is potentially great player for this team. If not right away, then towards the middle of the season.
Yeah, they'll by the time the SEC comes around, we're going to see a lot of improvement on this team. The highlights that Kyle and I've shared over the last few weeks, these guys are we got big guys, like Frank the Tank. Everybody's faced. I don't think Trent Noah might be the slowest guy on the team, and he ain't that slow.
I think that's probably a given, but
yeah, our big guys are fast.
They get up and down the floor.
I mean, man, and like you'll see some players that in the past they'd be under the basket and they're 7 foot tall and they get their shot blocked or they miss a layup. You wonder why the hell didn't they go straight up and just break the rim?
Well,
we got a lot of those guys this year.
This is the quintessential Mark Pope style team. Goes all the way back to the Rick Pitino style team. You get up and down the floor. Everybody plays defense. You get a ton of shots off. You launch a ton of threes. It's exactly what he wants. Pathway said so. The team's not 100% healthy right now. The team is not 100% practicing right now simply because Cam is not out there, but he is healthy. He's cleared to play. They're just letting him.
Right, because he played 24 games last year. He missed 12. I think it's 24. And so he's just let him rest and let him get 100% healthy. I've been dealing, but I'm 67. I've had tendonitis for 3 months. And the only thing that'll heal it, according to my doctor, is just resting. So it's the same thing. Sometimes if you've broken a bone and you start moving around too early, you know how sore it gets, if you remember that. Just the same thing here. We want Cam back 100%. These guys are elite athletes. They're in great shape all the time. And if he doesn't play until game one, if he doesn't touch a basketball until game one, which is not, he's going to be doing that. But just say worst case scenario, it'd take him 3 games to get back in game shape.
And Dougie, you're right. The team is practicing. The team is 100% healthy. There are shots going up.
And Cam's with them. I asked his dad that. Is Cam with the guys? He said, absolutely.
Yeah, I think you're absolutely. And Brandon, you said here, I think that the season is going to be a whole lot of fun to watch. I think you're right. I think it's going to be a whole lot more fun than the last 2 seasons. This may be the most talented. I think it is. This is the most talented team that we've seen. And we're going to have to go from there. I also agree with this comment from Marcus, thinking that Nikola Kusturica, guys.
Yeah.
I think the Nikola kid could be in plans for next year, mostly to team up with Hampton and hopefully Rosser and Spears also. Then you retain Zoom and Wilkins, Cam, and Hawthorne. We're looking good. We're looking great. We're looking phenomenal. And that's why I think him going ahead and coming to the States and potentially being with the University of Kentucky is a real option because, number one, he can make money. Let's be honest. Yeah. Capitalism works. But then he learns American basketball, right? It's a little bit different, right? If you watch FIBA or any of the Euro League, you understand that it's a little bit different, but it's a nice companion piece.
Right. Well, yeah. And we're gonna lose probably Moreno, Monsilovich, and Cam, and maybe a couple other players next year. So it is time to start reloading and get that train running, the big blue train running, like we've had before. And I think this is all part of the Momcilovic effect. We landed the number 1 portal player. That gave all these other players confidence that Kentucky's on the right path, on the right track. And so I think this dominoes are falling now. And I think that's a great thing for Kentucky.
Hey, while we're on here and you guys are in the chat right now.
I got stats too, Kyle.
Okay. Yeah, when you give me those stats here in a second, but you guys see my new guy back here, my new Wildcat. My wife calls him Freaky because it freaks her out. So we need a name for my new guy back here, my new Wildcat. So if you guys can drop some ideas for names for the Wildcat back here, we'll consider that. I'll also say, Craig, somebody in here, Pathways said, "What's up, Pathways?" Sounds like nobody's been hitting the weights to add strength and size so far. Cam's is out hurt. Moreno has been trying out with the NBA and has actually lost weight since last season. I don't believe everything you see.
No, don't. Yeah, Don't be a negative Nelly.
My guy Zach Cox will tell you different about guys that are working out with him as well. The guys are hitting the gym, guys are working out, they're getting shots up, they're already working out, and a lot of our media guys and friends are already saying they're having a lot of fun together, which is the
They're
first.
working together.
Yeah,
That's the key. They're all. It's not like remember back what I told Cam's dad was when Reed Shepard and what's his face were both drafted 3 and 8.
Yeah.
And yet they didn't start on Kentucky's team. I think there might have been some contractual or some promises that Cal made that the other guards were going to start in front of them, and they got drafted way later. And Cam and what's his name, Kyle, playing for Minnesota.
Oh,
guard. Shit, I'll think of it here in a second. But that's what I don't think we're going to have any of that this year. After what Ryan Hampton said, that he was not promised anything. He was shown the analytics of what Coach Pope saw for him and saw for the team, and he signed before he left campus, which is a first for Pope.
Well, it is, and it's a good sign. And listen, we've talked about all of the Tyron Stokes that we're going to talk about with Tyron Stokes, but I will say this: I don't think Tyron Stokes was a Mark Pope player to begin with. He's the best player in the country, and everybody will say, Tyron Stokes, he's his best player. Everybody would take him. We would take him. We wanted him. I'm not going to deny that. I think the guys that we've got right now are Mark Pope guys, and I think that's the fun part about this, because some guys don't work in systems. Maybe Tyron Stokes would have worked in here. I think these guys do. I'm telling you guys, when you see Justin McBride at 6'8",
oh my,
driving around and just dunking on people, but also shooting with his handles. This dude has handles, y'all. This dude has legit handles. You're going to be surprised.
Let me go through McBride's stats since you mentioned him, Kyle. 15 and a half points a game, 6 rebounds, 2 assists, 49.4% field goal percentage, 40% from 3, and 78 from the free throw line. So, man, tell me, this guy's a player.
Craig, tell me about what's the worst free throw percentage of these guys?
72%.
72%.
And that for a team average, that would be great. We've got 6 guys that shoot over 80%, and one, Kam Williams, has shot 95.4% last year, 21 for 22.
Yeah.
So we're going to win games at the free throw line. We're gonna win on defense because we're tall and long. And if we have a 6'4" guard and a 6'8" shooting guard, and then 6'9" on each wing and 7 or 7'1" underneath, we're going to be a huge team.
Well, you also don't leave guys hurting if one guy gets burnt. You're going to have tall guys. You're going to have long guys. You have guys with, you could have 3 guys on the floor that have 7-foot wingspans all at one time. Right. That's hard to throw passes around, guys. And that's the reality of what we're seeing for next season.
And somebody's going to have an off night. You just can't. It's just statistically just how it is. And Josh, am I still there? Okay. Yeah, Josh Hart this weekend had a terrible shooting night in that 29-point comeback victory. Yeah, but he realized that early. So he started hitting the boards, and he ended up with 15 rebounds and numerous assists. So he contributed to that victory by playing offensive defense under the basket. Yep. And that was a big, because off those rebounds, they fast break and scored on the other end to knock out that 29-point deficit.
Yeah. Moreno was 245, plenty big for NBA. You're absolutely right. Yep. What's up, WKRP in Cincinnati? What's going on, my man? Hey, I will say some folks have mentioned in here. Let's talk about it real quick. They announced 7 more non-conference games. Let's go ahead and get those puppies loaded up if we can today. And I think it's important that we understand that a bunch of these teams we've never seen before. So
3 of them I've never even heard of.
Bryant and Sacred Heart.
Yeah, I told in our earlier podcast, I thought Sacred Heart's a school out of Louisville, a high school team. Bryant, that's an air conditioning company. I have no idea who they are. I know James Madison. Northern Arizona, I just figure that's another one of them directional schools. Grambling State we know about, and Gardner Webb we really know about from Billy Clyde Gillespie
Yeah,
era when they kicked our butt.
we have some unfinished business with Gardner
Yeah,
Webb.
hope we will not beat them by about 35, and and Pope doesn't call off the dogs this year, but you know, um,
I will tell you real quick, Craig.
yeah,
Bryant University is located in Smithfield, Rhode Island. It delivers
no
a
clue.
transformative education that results in top outcomes and purpose-driven leaders. There you go. That's
Okay,
Bryant
well,
University.
I wish we had done like Cal did, and maybe Pope will do it later when we played Bellarmine, Eastern, Western, NKU, because those are all good schools, and maybe that's why not. And we even played our local college, Kentucky State University, twice in preseason games, not in games that counted, but they still got ticket money and it helped their athletic department. But in between those games, November 6th, we got Kansas
Oh yeah,
on November 10, which we want that because of Stokes in the Champions Classic in Chicago. We play IU at Lucas Oil Stadium on the 20th, November 20. December 12, we got Louisville at home at Rupp. 19th, we play UNC at the Madison Square Garden in the CBS Classic. So we're getting all kinds of national stuff.
There-
And then in the AC SEC Challenge, I think we got Virginia.
Virginia. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's a loaded schedule. So you need a little breaks in between.
I will tell you that the one of the things that I think Cam's dad said to you was, "We've got a bunch of cupcakes coming in here." Hey,
Yeah.
listen, when you're playing Kansas, Indiana, Virginia, Louisville, and North Carolina, I don't care that Indiana hasn't been good the last few years. It's still Indiana, Kentucky. It's always going to be Indiana,
Right.
Kentucky. It's always going to be close. When you're adding those 5 teams along with the other 7 that we have in there, yeah, you need a little time. You're absolutely right. It was the hospital for the scrubs. Those guys will show up. Uh, Dougie's bringing us some information right here. Texas Tech is parting ways with Brendan Sorsby, so he's not playing in 2026.
Yeah, I hadn't heard that, but
that is breaking news. If
yeah.
Craig, you want to give us some more? You were talking to Greg, and you all were talking about the fact that they are. We're gonna have a special show at Da Vinci's.
Oh yeah, yeah. In July, Greg Williams, Cam's dad, I told him he needs a license plate, KAMDAD.
Yeah,
because he said that's how he's known now. But they're going to be coming to Frankfort, Kentucky in July to my restaurant, Da Vinci's Pizza, and we're just gonna meet face to face instead of telephone and text. But he's going to bring Cam with him, and Kyle and I are going to try to figure out how to do a live podcast with Cam and his dad, Greg.
Oh, that's not gonna
Pizza.
We're not gonna have to figure anything out. We'll be able to do that. That's not a problem.
So that's coming in July, not a set date yet, but he said he would give me plenty of notice. So that'll be exciting for Frankfort and Dillingham. That's who it is. Thank you, Jay Stauffer. 2 clueless dudes again. That's us.
That's us.
Yeah. And so that will be a fun time.
I will say that we are getting information right now that Brendan Sorsby is entering the supplemental draft in the for the NFL, and will be parting ways after the Big 12 sued today to prevent him from playing. So there you go. That's big news as well. And anything else you want to add to what you have seen with regard to this team as it's been built? Any of the stats that you have that you're pretty impressed by?
Well, the number one stat is Momcilovic shooting 49% from 3, and that's not 49% on 10 for 20 free throws. That's 270 3-pointers. So this guy can shoot. We're gonna be bombing away from everywhere, and thank you, buddy. It's easy when you're not on the mic and got 5 million stats running through your head.
It's all right.
You can pound on a keyboard.
That's all right.
But it's gonna be a great year. It's gonna be a fun year because we're gonna be fast. We're gonna be long, and we got a team loaded with shooters. We got 5 or 6 double-digit scoring players coming back from last year. Our total points average that we're bringing back is 114 points. So, these guys aren't afraid to shoot, and they can certainly make a shot, and they can rebound. They can break the goal on dunks. So this is going to be a powerhouse team.
Yeah. I totally agree. We have a daily show that we do here at Apex News Above the Noise, and we make sure that we try to give you all facts, not just lip service, but we also have been heavily involved with UK athletics. Myself, formerly employed by UK athletics, but also a graduate and a big fan. Craig has always been a big fan as well. We also still obviously have some insiders that are talking.
We didn't talk about Injai either.
Talk about the unicorn out of this group.
Right. Yeah, he's going to be scary because he might be the fastest guy on the team at 6'11".
He only has to take 4 steps to get from one end of the floor to the other.
Yeah, and he's from Senegal, and he's a player.
Yeah, he really is. I think people can put in the comments here. Oh, he scored 0 points. Last time he
in Israel
he plays. Big deal. That was Marcio Santos, but this, I'm telling you, Njai is going to be great. I honestly believe that we are in a really good position for Nikola Kusturica. I think that's going to be a fun kid as well. We're right there with you, Marcus. Circle the Champions Classic against Kansas in Louisville in Rupp may be the most fun we've had, especially with as much talking has gone on from the Fighting Scrooge McDucks down in.
You don't got that picture handy, do you?
I always have it close nearby. You know that.
Yeah.
But go ahead.
Well, I was going to say, Peanut said that Sorsby. I mean, this must have just broke.
It did.
It must have just broke. I don't know anything, but I know it's not a good thing that he's having to go so quickly.
Well, you can't bet on college sports. I saw. You guys will appreciate this. I saw a photo this weekend that said Pete Rose walked so Brendan Sorsby could run. It's like,
yeah,
it's kind of humorous. And there's the announcement from ESPN's X account 1 minute ago. It's a good question. What do we think about the new AD? It is an interesting choice. This is his 4th stop in 6 years. A lot of people say that he is a fundraising savant. Apparently, he set the Georgia Tech fundraising record by more than 40% than what it had previously been in 1 year. He only spent 1 year at Michigan State. They are on now their 5th their AD since 2021. Something is going on in East Lansing. A lot of Michigan fans probably really happy about that since Michigan State is struggling. And of course, while at Georgia Tech, he had a big hire there that has gone on to do well. It is yet to be seen. One of the concerns that I have is that he has a penchant for being a quick trigger, if you will, if there's a little bit of trouble with things going on with the program. So how much room does he give Mark Pope and things of that nature? How much room does he give, a football program that, seems to have all the momentum in the world, but if they go 4-8, do you feel okay giving him another season and all the NIL money you want? The big thing here is that he is also the Champions Blue CEO now, which is, the fundraising arm of the University of Kentucky, as tangentially as you can be from its own LLC, but it considered a holding company, if you will. But he's a stud and a savant when it comes to fundraising. That's what you have to have in this NIL era. So obviously he understands money, but I'll tell you this, what he said at Michigan State and what he said today in his press conference is football has to be a top priority. Just because from a numbers sense, now you come to Kentucky where football has kind of been second tier. But I think he understands that as a football program and in the SEC, you're going to make money. So make as much money as possible because that can help all of your other programs. Football and basketball, they're self-sufficient. But anything, I don't know if any of you all have been up to Lexington lately, there is no shortage of new buildings that are going up, and obviously the athletic money stays with the athletic money. But the more people who are alumni, and actually donate to the school because of the athletic programs makes a big deal in this day and age.
Winning begets winning,
Winning begets winning.
and the more you win, the more money that comes in.
Yeah,
The more donors you get.
yeah.
This Moreno said himself losing weight due to all the travel and missing the gym. Of course, yeah, it happens. That's part of it. They can't work out 12 months a year because your body will break down.
Yeah, those guys are working out though. We know they're working out.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to see what the new coach can do, what the new AD can do, what everybody else thinks about Jay Batt. That's his name, Jay, the letter J, Batt. It is one of the comments that was said today was that he was the exact opposite, everything different than Mitch Barnhart was in a good way.
Yeah,
so you take that for what it's worth.
And like we said earlier, Barnhart did a hell of a job at UK.
He did. People can make comments about, you fumbled this, fumbled that. What he did for UK football when UK football was down, in getting Mark Stoops, and what he did for the other programs, including Title IX programs and also what they call Olympic sports. They used to call them non-revenue sports. Can't call them because
that's not good no more.
But if you look at women's basketball, if you look at volleyball, we're a volleyball school. Who knew that?
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. Baseball.
They had a great run in volleyball and baseball.
Gymnastics, swimming and diving, rifle. A lot of people don't know that we have multiple national championships in rifle, which is part of the athletic program.
And our cheerleader program's the best in the country year after not year after year, decade after decade.
And now you have just recently in the last 2 decades adding soccer programs and what they have been able to do. Listen, the University of Kentucky is an athletic school. I mean, we are people can dog us and say, well, you haven't won a national championship in basketball since 2012. Yeah, so what? We're still we are
in the Olympics.
We are everyone's Super Bowl still. So that until that ends, I'm feeling pretty good about us.
Yeah.
But every other aspect of this school, and then you're talking about what our football program is looking forward to. I'm really excited about that. We will obviously be talking about football as we get closer.
I can't wait to get to fall.
1st of September.
Jaden Quayton's, he is in the draft. He's worked out well. He's produced very well in the NBA Combine. And I saw a projection yesterday on ESPN that number 20 is where, he was projected as a 1 or a 2 before he got hurt. Then he dropped out of the top 8. Then he dropped out of the top 12. So now they got him down to 20, but he's still going to be even
he'll be a first rounder.
He'll be a surprise.
Yeah.
I think if once he gets 100% healthy, which I think he's probably there now, man, he's a beast.
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
he's going to have a long NBA career.
The other aspect about JQ that a lot of people don't know is that he's been full-time working out ever since the last horn with the UK program, preparing for this, and I've sent videos to you. Boy, it would have been nice. It would have been nice if he was fully healthy.
Oh gosh,
a totally different season, I think.
It would have been.
But you can't go back and replay things in the past, right? You got to move forward in everything you do. Hey Marcus, thank you so much for checking us out. Thanks to everybody for checking us out. We appreciate all the compliments. This is an act of pure love here, that we love the game and this program. So that's something that we have really enjoyed. Somebody here, George is saying, have you seen the U of L practice hype video? I'll be honest, I haven't seen it yet.
That's all it is, those hype. It ain't nothing.
Yeah.
And I ain't seen it. I'm just saying that, but I have no clue about what Louisville's done. I'm more concerned with what we got. Right.
I'm the exact same way. I will tell you that it is fun because a bunch of those Louisville guys will pop up on my X account. We live rent free in their brains.
Yeah.
24/7, 365. Even when good stuff's happening to them, all they talk about is Kentucky. It's crazy.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. And this is true. Duke has had some phenomenal teams, and they've gone out early in the NCAA tournament just like we did. It happens,
It does.
and that's just how it is.
Yeah.
And
What's up, Kel? It's good to see you, buddy. Um, I will also say this. I want everybody to keep sleeping on Kentucky. I saw you post this, Craig, on a social media post just the other day. You posted it and didn't tell me you had posted it, but I saw your name on there and you're like, keep sleeping on Kentucky.
yeah,
Please.
go
Keep
ahead. Yeah, put us in 19 or 20 in the thing. That's great because we're overlooked. They can say Pope can't coach, but nobody can coach when your main players go down injured, and you got everybody. Once your point guard goes down, everybody's playing out of position. It's
Yeah.
not just one player. I think Moreno was the only one, and he still played a center top of the key that was passing the ball around.
which is a great experience. He wasn't
Yeah,
listen, Moreno wasn't supposed
right,
to start 90% of our games.
right.
He just wasn't. And
He
he did.
wasn't projected to
It's a
do
great
anything.
experience. We are very lucky. It was a very deep draft. Had next season's draft been this year, Moreno was probably gone. But
Yeah,
we're lucky that he wasn't, and it's good for him too. He's not going to sit on a G League. That's a good
right.
KRP.
Yeah, I like that one.
Yeah, and so it's also it's a situation where you have multiple guys, and somebody said earlier, it sounds like a bunch of redundancy. You need redundancy in college sports, and that's what wins you championships because you need two guys at every position.
Right.
I liken it when you talk about your offensive line in football. You have to have a great offensive line, but you also have to have a great second string offensive line, right? Because those are the guys, number one, that are in practice squads getting your defense better. But those are the guys who are spelling those guys too.
Yes.
You have to have those. Same here. Basketball's up and down, especially. You guys haven't even seen it yet. You have not seen a true Mark Pope team, a team that, gets up, 23, 24 3-pointers in a game, that's playing, 40 minutes of hell defense. He would never say that. 40 minutes of
Right.
heck fire
Yeah.
defense. You guys haven't seen it, but now that you have the players, you can do that. And so I think that's the thing that we just haven't seen since maybe 2015, maybe since 2018. Teams where you can wholesale sub 4 or 5 guys if you need
Yeah.
it.
I mean, we got Jerome Morton we hadn't talked about yet that's averaging 8 points a game, but he's shooting 44% from three-point land, 39%. I mean, 44% for the game, 39 from three-point land, and another 82% free throw shooter. This is going to be even the players that don't start, they're going to come in and be able to contribute immediately with this team. And we have not had that blessing in quite a few years where we won't go from 1 to 2 to 3 on our players. We'll go 1 and 1A and 1B, I think, across the board.
I think the other thing that people don't understand is that not having to force guys to immediately start and immediately be contributors and let them ease into the position, that's something that we haven't had the luxury of doing. Let's be honest. Trent Noah hasn't had the luxury of learning how to be a better player because we thrust him in 2 years ago, and last year he wasn't quite ready. He got surpassed a little bit because of that. If you get these guys in, listen, that's the whole Braden Hawthorne experiment right now. Braden Hawthorne has not seen a ball game since high school, and now we're going to bring him in, and he's been able to sit and watch for an entire year. And this kid is long. He is a great shooter. He's put on some weight and drank them milkshakes and eaten them hamburgers, and now you got a kid who's the right size and understands the speed of the game. So I'm looking forward to that.
And then we got Reese Potter.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, we take 7-foot Moreno out and bring 7'1" Reese Potter in, and he's putting up shots like crazy. Good 3-point shooter for his size. So they can't if he goes out at the key or something or 3-point line, they can't leave him alone. They can't back off of him and say, "Go ahead and shoot, buddy. We ain't worried about you."
Yeah. I like that. KRP.
Yeah.
I remember some of those days. You get yours, we'll try to get ours. Mark Fox.
Yeah, that was that kind of offense was at the NBA All-Star game when they scored 200, was 212 to 198, something like that.
Can we talk about that for a second? I have guys, and there's guys in this chat, I'm sure, who hate on the NBA, and I have guys that are buddies of mine who are probably texting me right now who hate the NBA. They hate that I would watch the NBA. How do you watch that? It's not real basketball. It's not like when we were kids. It's not like watching the Bulls and the Pistons and the Lakers and the Celtics from the 80s. You're right, it's not. But this last NBA, I'll tell you this: the conference finals and the finals, that was fun.
Yeah.
That was a lot of fun, especially the Western Conference Finals. But then watching the finals, watching people play defense, and honestly, it was kind of fun that the refs let them play a little bit. There was obviously some flopping and things that still are part of the game right now, but not as much.
Nowhere near as much as what we've seen from some teams. Hello, Los Angeles Lakers. LeBron being a 250-pound man, and somebody breathes on him and he hits the ground and screams bloody murder.
Guy could play in the NFL. The guy could play in the NFL.
He'd been a great tight end.
He gets his shoe stepped on, and he's
but you didn't see that in this entire playoffs. I watched a bunch of basketball during the NBA playoffs, and it was different this year. There was more defense. I think we even talked about that once. The defense, they really racked it up from the season to the playoffs because there's so many contender teams with San Antonio, Houston, OKC, Boston, the Knicks. Even the Lakers came on the second half of the year. It's NBA is going to be fun. And what makes it a lot of fun is we got like 28 players in the NBA. We had 3 in the finals, and Karl Anthony Towns won his championship. So it was that makes it easier to watch when there's always a UK player on Denver or Phoenix or any of the big teams. And I like watching Houston with Reed Sheppard.
We know your love for Houston and yeah. But you did call the Knicks. You called the Knicks 2 months ago.
Before the playoffs, yeah.
On this show, 2.5 months
totally
ago.
Because they played team basketball, and that's how I think Kentucky's going to be this year. We're not going to have the guy that's going to have to score 28 points a game for us to win. We're going to be playing team basketball. I think players will probably average 28 to 32 minutes a game, the starters, maybe not even that much, because we're so deep this year, we can rest and not our legs won't be tired in the SEC tournament and certainly not in the NCAAs.
Well, I again, you're not destroyed, because you have 8 guys playing, 7, 8 guys playing all the minutes. You're not hurt because Otega Owe didn't score, 17
points. Yeah.
If he's having an off night, you're not like
we're done.
We're done. There's a real opportunity here for some, and I'll just call it as I see it. Yes, these are some journeymen. Some of these guys, this is their third, team or whatever. But it's just the way these cogs seem to fit into this machine that just seems to be right. And I think for the first time in several years, Kentucky can get excited. I wasn't excited about last year's team. I was excited that we got JQ, and I was hoping that he'd be great. Me and my guys, it was probably the most gut-wrenching basketball
preseason Gonzaga.
Yeah.
That preseason was just horrible last year.
It was not fun. That those pre-SEC games were not fun. And you're right. If we can play defense, we're not going to have a problem scoring, because that feeds into Pope's kind of game. Pope from the mat.
You score off defense. Cal said it. Patino said it. You score off of defense, and I believe with our size and weight that we're going to be able to score a lot off of defense. Yeah. I think we'll have a lot of steals because we'll be able to, the cross-court passes, those things might end on this team because we're so big. And probably we only got one non-defensive player. right? Monsilovich.
Correct.
I'm sure D's not in his alphabet, but I don't care if he's shooting 49% from three. On 279 threes last year, he shot 48.7%. So, yeah, and y'all seen how fast Zoom gets through a screen? Yes. That's the thing. This team is going to be so fast, people are going to be surprised at the speed of this, the overall speed of this team.
Hey, I just a buddy of mine just sent this to me, and he said he just saw that there is an incredibly good chance. I didn't know this, and I'm a soccer guy. There's an incredibly good chance that the U.S. will play England in the World Cup on July 4th.
God, that'd be great.
Can you imagine?
That'd be epic.
I mean, just everybody bring your bottles of tea. I mean,
Yeah,
something's getting dumped that day. I
and
don't know.
there'll be some massive smack talk going on that day. That would be
What
that
a
would be spectacular.
birthday party right there.
Yeah.
We thought the UFC fight was wild. Imagine what that'll look like.
Yeah,
Um,
and this the true. We got 6 guys double figures, and overall, I mean that alone is good. That means we can score, but all the players can contribute one way or another. Like Frank Kepnong, is that right, Kyle?
hey, you did it. Good job.
Only 6 points a game, but 7 rebounds, 2.1 blocks. So he might get 2.1 blocks a game, but he redirects a whole bunch of other shots, or they might think twice about driving down the middle when he's in there.
Yeah. To recap everything tonight, we've had some guys join us, some locals and everything else. We wanted to come on tonight and tell you that we talked to Cam's family. I know there was a meme out there just saying, is Cam missing? You know, what's happening? Cam is fine. Cam is with the team. Cam is resting up that foot to make sure he's 100%. We're not having to push anybody, which is great, and everything's going on there. The other news tonight is Nikola Kusturica. Gosh, I'm training my
work on that one.
Kusturica, a 6'8" Serbian swing forward, is now, who just turned 17, is now considering heavily coming to the NCAA, coming to America and playing in NCAA. It's almost considered a guarantee that he's going to do that. It was considered that Gonzaga was the lead team in the Kusturica lottery, if you will. Over the weekend, though, they signed Jawan Akanga, a 6'6" combo guard out of France. So that probably removes them from the Kusturica lottery.
Yeah.
And it's something, obviously, there's going to be other teams that are going to be coming up. He's a 17-year-old kid, but again, the reverse Uno of the Tyron Stokes deal, him going to Kansas and leaving us with a pile of availability cash to be able to sprinkle out towards some maybe call him a project, if you will. He scored 20 points in the Euro League under 18 championships, and 20 and 10.
Average, not score. Average.
Yeah. So I mean, this would be a big get for the Wildcats. It would be icing on the cake for this team. But listen, we also saw these way too early predictions over the last week or so, where it was like, well, now Kentucky they were 30th, but now they're 25th with Milan. Again, sleep on us. Keep talking that stuff. It's fine. You haven't seen what these guys can do together. We have seen some of the workout videos and things that are happening. You're going to be so impressed with this team. You should be getting really, really excited about that. But on top of that, the news today that we have hired Jay Batt as our athletic director 15 days before the end of Mitch Barnhart's tenure. There is a bit of a buyout, about $1.25 million that I think we're going to end up having to pay Michigan State. And I think that this is going to be a good get. He's a business guy that understands the NIL. He's essentially, a fundraising savant, which in this day and age, you got to bring in money. So I think I think that this is going to be a continued good month for the Wildcat basketball and football program. Let's not sleep on the football program, what they've done.
Going to be, I hope it's going to be exciting as can be.
They just keep adding guys. Like I will say that their number one QB for that was going to come in next season. Looks like he's going to the high school recruit looks like he is going to sign a potential baseball contract. If that, listen, if you get guaranteed money in baseball, brother, yeah, go for it.
And this quote from JT, pushing the ball, seeing Zoom pushing the ball up to Florida and Milan on the wing for threes. This is going to be a luxury for our guards, whether it's Wilkins or Diallo or maybe Cam at the 2. They're going to be coming to the 4. They're going to have so many options with our wing players that they're just going to be smiling as they're coming up the 4 because they'll be able to drive it and then pass off to either wing or turn around and throw back behind them to a wide open 3 for any number of players. So that's why this team is going to be, if you're really into the basketball, there's so many options on this team now with us being 2 deep at every spot and sometimes 3. This is just going to be a super exciting year to watch.
Well, and I think that's what people are missing out on is that they are too deep, so you can be faster. You're not conserving your energy every time down the court because you're going to play 30 minutes a game. You don't have to play 30 minutes a game. So yeah, Gato Loco, I like it. Crazy. I like it. The other aspect of this team is that you have a bunch of hungry dudes. You got a bunch of dogs on this team. You got a bunch of dogs that are willing to go towards the basket. I don't see how this team gets out rebounded maybe 2 or 3 games the entire season. You're not going to see what happened last year where they couldn't get a rebound for several possessions down the court. This team is going to out rebound you on a nightly basis.
Yeah. And George, this could be true. Momcilovic could be the Momcilovic effect reaching all the way over to Europe where he played and talked to these players about coming to UK and the atmosphere of UK with all the crazy fans, so many traveling, because he saw that when he was at Iowa State, and he played against Pope when he was at BYU, went 1-1. So he's already said that he liked Kentucky's or Pope's style, and during the recruiting process, remember the only team he really mentioned was Kentucky. By name.
We have a celebrity in the house. What's up, Big Mike?
What's up, brother? How's the move going? Moving from Saudi Arabia to Oman, I think's what it is. Yeah. So maybe
prayers for safety and easy travel and everything else, brother.
And I'm glad the war is over.
Yeah.
And don't got to worry about him over there, a stray missile coming towards him. So that'll be good.
If you guys enjoy this channel, make sure you like, share, subscribe, click that notification bell any chance you get. We are here 5 days a week with our news program, just hitting all the facts so that you can sound smarter at the water cooler or at the boardroom or just talking to your buddies. But we are also big UK homers, and we are going to keep up with UK news and UK sports, and we're going to hop on here on a regular basis. So, Marcus, you're absolutely right. Big Frank's going to be an enforcer. I mean, dude,
if you look at him, if you remember LeBron in his younger age, when he had the big knobs on his shoulder and he was just so big, that's what Frank looks like right now. Frank Kapnang, Franck.
Yeah,
that's what Frank looks like now. He looks like he's 30 years old, to be honest.
Yeah.
When you see his pictures, his welcome videos, the guy looks older than he is, but he is 100%.
He's got a fellow teammate from Washington in Zoom Diallo. I mean, they were teammates last year.
Right. Yeah. And we've talked. We started off with Cam. What does the where's Cam thing mean? He is resting his broken foot. He's not practicing with are these like pseudo practices? They're not. They're
voluntary workouts.
Right. Yeah. And so he's resting his foot, and so that he can be ready at the beginning of the season. That's the right thing to do. You see a lot of pro athletes doing it, and he's got the UK doctors, which are some of the best in the country, the
Absolutely.
athletic program. Trust me, they're watching one of their stud players to make sure he's 100%. And by him playing last year, even though it was limited minutes, you could see what we're going to be seeing this upcoming season. Because he scored over 25 couple games, and I keep saying that he was 21 for 22 on free throws, and it's going to be
That is definitely your favorite stat of all.
well, because free throws win games. Period.
Yeah.
You saw it in all the NBA finals, all these 1 and 2 point games. Yes. Go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, if you do the analytics and you have everyone shooting 80% or more, you're winning 3 or 4 more games.
Yeah,
You're going to win 3 or 4 more games.
Yeah, who are you going to foul?
Right.
Well, it ain't going to be no hack a Shaq on UK next year for anybody.
Yeah.
There's going to be no hack a Shaq.
There's your Frank Kepnong, by the way. I mean, there's your 25-year-old man child.
Right.
He's not a man child. He's a man. That's a
He's
grown
man.
man.
He's a man. And look how big his hand is. He's got his fingers closed up, and he's not even using 2 of them. I bet he can hold basketball like we hold an egg. I mean, it's going to be. Cam is not hurt. Let's put that back up there.
Yeah.
Cam is not hurt. Cam is healing.
Cam is healing
from his surgery.
Cam can play right now, but why are we going to push the dude out there to do it?
Right. Well, he played the second half of the season, so that proved that.
Yeah. Anybody that doesn't know, Craig and I are big UK homers. We're just lucky to be in this little universe that a bunch of you guys who follow the Wildcats and follow the podcast are willing to hop on here, and just make sure that you come back and see us. Make sure you like and subscribe to the channel. We're going to have all the information and be able to talk about all the other stuff. And I like Frank gives us what Garrison didn't: a shot blocker and rebounder. I can't tell you how many times I said "damn it, Garrison" last year. I think that was his name at one point. Damn it, Garrison.
All you got to do is what Wemby did. How many times did you see players drive in? And I'm not saying none of our players are half as good as Wemby, but 7'5" is still 7'5", 6'9", 6'10", with a 7-foot reach. 7-foot reach is still that.
Yeah.
And so our defense is gonna run our offense, I believe. And when you do that, then you don't have to play 35, 38 minutes a game. You can just keep running players in and out. And with these 4-minute TV timeouts, you swap players out, and we should never be tired next year. I don't think.
I don't see how we possibly can. I mean, we're again, somebody's going to get injured. Somebody's going to have an issue. But aren't you glad that you have a backup point guard at this point? Aren't you glad that if your point guard goes down, that it's not season ending? And I think that's the really good thing.
Yeah. Have y'all got any stat type questions before we wrap up?
Yeah. Any questions you guys might have, we're happy to answer those, or at least try to find out an answer for you. For those of you who are just kind of joining us here, we know that in July, around July, that Greg Williams, Kam Williams' dad, is going to come into Frankfurt.
And Kam.
And we are going to have a live podcast broadcast that we're going to do. We'll give you all the dates and times and everything else for anybody who is in Central Kentucky that wants to come down. We will have them on the show, and potentially some other folks as well. We're pretty much looking forward to that. If you guys don't know that Da Vinci's Pizza is perhaps the best pizza that to your mouth. This portion of the broadcast brought to you by Da Vinci's Pizza here in Frankfort, Kentucky. And I do want to thank you, Craig, for allowing us to plug your wonderful pizza.
Oh, I ain't stupid, The M1, that's because Big Mike calls him Frank the Tank.
Yeah.
And M1, so that's not a bad name either. But I think Tank is sticking with him right now, because I've heard other people across Big Blue Nation say that.
Yeah,
And that is correct.
and and,
Cam,
and TG's absolutely correct. KSR doesn't know more than Cam's dad. I can tell you that's for sure.
that's 100%.
Yeah,
And I talk to him regular, text him a lot, and so we're he's just a great guy. He is just a great guy. We've had him on our podcast. We'll have him on again, and I think the parents are also becoming great friends, and that helps the players too. And the thing we can't do is what we did last year is boo these players, and not, we should be ripping the rafters down with screaming the whole game, every game, to boost these players. Because believe it or not, these players, they build off the energy. If you heard in the UFC fights last night, when the American boxers will get the upper hand, and you heard 80,000 people screaming USA, USA, that helped them give an extra boost of energy to win their fights.
I think again, somebody asked, Jackson asked, so do you think we get that Euro player y'all were talking about? I think yes, we hope. I think that we are leading in that area. I think that there have already been discussions that have been had. I think that there will be a decision. In fact, I will tell you this: he plays in the Euro Championships, the FIBA Euro Championships at the end of June, 1st of July. So that would put us 2 weeks from now. I will predict. I will lock it in right now. You will have an announcement from this kid in the next 2 weeks. He will be coming to the U.S. I think that's a foregone conclusion. I think the next couple of days will be important now that everybody's back in the program. I think that while that's going on, I think the Jamal Crawford thing's going on as well, and trying to lock those two things. And I think it's possible they both announce on the exact same day.
Hey, well, that's a big prediction. And let me ask this, Kyle: how many teams really got any kind of money for this year?
About 4.
And we're one of them.
Yeah.
So I think we're in the lead. The predictions I've seen today when it first came out was Kentucky's always mentioned first. It's not Duke or North Carolina. And just like with Momcilovic mentioning Kentucky only, I think we're in the lead, but you never know what's going to happen. Gonzaga's they're getting blasé now because they don't play anybody out there till the NCAA tournament. And Duke is loaded. North Carolina's pretty good. We're loaded, but we have the ability to carry him for 2 years before he gets eligible to run to the NBA. And he's going to play in the NBA. There ain't no.
You also have to look at who has roster space that makes sense. We have roster space that makes sense. There are teams that have a little bit of money, like St. John's, and maybe a North Carolina or something. But I think Kentucky has more money. I think Kentucky also has a plan. I'll also say this about St. John's: there comes a point where you have to go, I'm being recruited by Pitino. Is Pitino going to be there? I mean, Pitino's 76, 77.
Yeah, he's getting up there.
So, I mean,
and they charge a lot more taxes in New York than they do.
Oh boy, you know what $1 million? You take $1 million in the Bluegrass State, you save about 40% from what you're going to be paying just in New York taxes.
And people might think, well, y'all are just getting deep into taxes or something.
That's a business decision when it comes to sports, guys.
NIL is business now, and Jalen Brunson made a passing comment. It's great winning the championship, no doubt, but it was also, he said, I missed the tax rate in Texas over what New York charges.
Yeah, he was not joking. And we're Central Kentucky guys. Wandale Robinson's from Frankfurt here. Wandale was at the Giants. Wandale is now with the Tennessee Titans. It's a well-known fact that he's going to save about $9 to $11 million that he's going to put in his pocket just by playing in Tennessee and not playing in New York. So when you're now take that $68 million contract and you bring it down to a $2 million contract. That's the difference between living like a king and living like a very wealthy person, and that makes a difference for some of these kids as well.
Yes, I want to address Kel. No other school boos their own team. I don't care about no other school. Kentucky, just like we don't storm the court when we knock off a number one team, we don't boo our team. I don't recall that ever in my life seeing
Well,
that.
it's the same reason we don't rush the floor when we win a big game in basketball.
Right.
It's
Yeah.
it's different to be a part of Big Blue Nation. We do things differently. We expect different things, and when it comes to our players, they are our players. And
Right.
people say, "Oh, I'm booing the effort. I'm booing this. I'm booing that." Fine, you can do all that, but the reality is that it's not going to make them work harder by booing them. So
But
let's get it together in the sense that it was an anomaly. Those things happen.
and the players hear it.
Yep.
The players hear it. Other coaches see it on TV, and they use it to. And it's been readily admitted all over ESPN. The other coaches use the way our fans acted last year to recruit against us this year.
Yeah, I think that, and I think there's some confusion in the chat here that I think we all agree that in Kentucky we try not to boo our players. We try to be different. We don't rush the floor. When there's a big game. It's just we don't do that here.
Yeah.
You don't do that in Indiana. You don't do that here. But we don't boo our players. And you can say, well, they're pros. You're absolutely right. They're pros. And if you think that these kids just started getting players and just started getting perks, I got a bridge to sell you up
Right.
in New York. These guys have been pros for a long time, and so let's just be very real about it. And the other thing is, if we want to see the team get better, you don't give fodder to the other teams to recruit against.
Right. Yeah. Don't hurt our team by doing that. Support them. And this is 100% correct, George. Pope can get Jamal Crawford and go ahead, Kyle, say his name.
Oh, are you talking about Nikola Kusturica?
Yeah. Let them hate all they want, and they'll jump on the Big Blue bandwagon, as we've been saying for a few weeks. This team has changed, and it's going to be exciting to watch. And as we get better and we prove it, this is our prove it year on a couple of fronts. One, Pope proves it so that he doesn't lose his job. That's the one thing. And once the players do prove it and we have a good year, then that makes it so much easier to recruit in year 4, year 5, and year 6.
Yeah. Well, I think obviously going to be a great season. I feel it. I feel it in my bones. I didn't feel it in my bones the last 2 years. I feel it in my bones this year. I feel like this is going to be a different kind of team, a different kind of season. I know there's a lot of people who say, that we glaze a bunch of guys and that we're too positive. No, Craig and I are stat guys. We're number guys, and we plug the numbers in and we look at things.
They
and we
got them right here.
We watch workouts. We're able to see these things, and we could be wrong. We might win just 20 games. It happens, and then maybe we're looking for a new coach. I don't think that's going to happen. I really don't.
Not me neither.
Yeah,
and Ryan Hampton. I keep going back to this statement. Ryan Hampton saying he was shown the analytics. These players know that now. They, a few years ago, analytics really didn't mean nothing. They were just wanting to score. But now NIL's made college basketball a business. All the pro sports use analytics to a massive degree, and it's coming into college now. And these high school players are recognizing that because they're seeing their own analytics. So it's Pope is a Rhodes Scholar, and he was 3 months away from becoming a doctor, right?
Yep.
3 months, and played in the NBA.
Did you know he was an English lit major?
I didn't know what his major was. I just knew he was going into medical school. And so we've got a smart coach, relatively young. He could be here 15 or 20 years. Hope I'm around to see them all. And I'm just so excited for this upcoming season. I hope every fan is super excited also. And we just end every game with a big smile on our face. If it's not for a win, it's for the effort put forth by these players.
Yeah. George, you're going to get more than 2. I think you're going to have 3. I think you're going to have 3 elite high school players, and then you're going to have a bunch of guys coming back. Can you imagine Kentucky has a bunch of guys coming back?
Right.
And then especially if you get Kusturica come back and some other things.
Yeah, he'd be a guaranteed comeback.
I think he's gonna have. I believe he'll have 3.
Well, there's even talk that Momcilovic could come back for another year if he doesn't go high enough in the draft.
Well, there is now a 5-year rule.
Yeah, and he would make more money coming back to UK than he would be in the 28th pick in the draft.
Although next year, different draft, gonna have a totally different draft.
Yeah.
It's gonna be much weaker. I will say Malachi's gone after this year.
He's gone.
Even if he has an okay season, which he's not.
Yeah.
If he were to have an okay season, dude's gone. They draft on potential a lot, and I mean, anybody that remembers Andrew Bynum and some of those guys that
Yeah, I was shocked that Momcilovic didn't get drafted because of his shooting ability, but he'll go next year because I think he will show. I think he'll work on defense because I'm sure that's what the NBA told him, that you got to better your footwork and show that you can play some defense anyway. And if Cam has a good shooting year, he's gone because you can't teach a 6'8" guy that can bomb away from 3. So we could lose several players, but we're going to have several come back.
JT, you're absolutely right. Team had problems. Not going to deny that. One of those issues was didn't have the right personnel, didn't have the right people, and didn't have enough people.
Yeah, too many people playing in the wrong position all season long.
Yeah,
and like you said, Moreno was not expected to play every game. He was going to be a backup player, and it just to JQ, and he was forced into a starting role, and he did great. He did absolutely great.
Well, I'm really looking forward to it. If you guys enjoyed this show, make sure you like, share, subscribe our channel. It's actually surprisingly we get notified all the time. In just a couple of months, we have over 700,000 views. We are one of the fastest growing YouTube channels out there. Make sure you like and subscribe to the channel, and if you enjoy news and topics and just hearing a couple of old guys lament about things in the world, we do it every day at 5 p.m. And then we also do the Kentucky stuff when news comes along, and when the season comes along, we will be doing this a lot more because we'll be doing post-game stuff as well as pre-game stuff as well, and reaction.
That'll be fun.
Yeah.
Because we'll have the stats and we'll be able to really deep dive into it, watching the game. And as long as we're not a horse that hollering at the TV, it's going to be fun.
It's entirely possible after a long day for both of us.
Yeah.
Craig, I think we have essentially worn out our welcome here. We've done everything we can to try to keep people entertained. I can't thank you guys enough for joining us. It's a fun endeavor for us to do this on the side. It's a fun little passion project that we have. My name is Kyle. I'm always joined by my friend Craig, and I really can't thank you all enough for joining us and for letting us be a part of the little podcast sphere out here with UK sports. Anything before we get out of here, Craig?
Nope, just like, share, and subscribe, and pass it along to your friends. I had a couple of people text me today that they wanted to know the link to the podcast, so I sent it to them. So if you see it, share it. That'll help us grow because we want to grow. The more we can grow, the more people we can hire and bring on staff and dig even deeper into it. And we're working on some other things that'll help us get more. And if you ever got a tip, a Kentucky tip that we can research, because Kyle and I are both good researchers. Kyle is for sure. And we'll certainly dig into it. And if we do, like tonight, we find something worthy of bringing it on off a tip we get from one of you all, we'll certainly jump in and go live right then.
That's baloney, JT. I know better than that. Yes, Cam is with the team. Before we get out of here, Cam is
confirmed with his dad tonight for 38 minutes straight. Yeah. Cam is with the team in Wildcat Lodge.
Yeah.
And at the basketball court.
Yeah. So for my good friend Craig Blanton, I am Kyle Thompson. Thank you guys for joining us. Big Blue Nation, we hope you guys have an awesome night. We will talk to you guys very, very soon. See you guys later. Have a great night.
Okay, let's go.